Renee Good was a 37-year-old mother of two. She had children that were the ages of 16, 12, and 6. When she left her house, when she decided to protest against ICE being in her area, she did not anticipate that there was a chance that she was going to be shot down by members of, regardless of them serving an administration that she did not believe in, they were members of a federal agency that is designed, so we all think, to protect and serve us, the American people. And yet, in the end, she ends up dead, and here we all are having a conversation about ICE, about people who are deploying ICE against us, and about just how we ended up in this spot as a whole. Welcome to Kinetic Acidic. My name is Germ. Considering the topic that we're talking about, I'm not going to hit y'all with a jingle, at least not right now. I just wanted to talk about this because it's clearly been a very big topic over the course of the week. But not only that, but the thing that I found disturbing about it was the response that we got, not from the general public, but from the people in charge. Now, normally when something like this happens, if this were in the past, like something where maybe George Bush was having people protest against him and someone ended up dead, even for how people felt about him when I was growing up, I don't think it would have been fathomable. I'm not trying to whitewash him and make him sound good, but it wouldn't have been fathomable for him to come out and try to paint an American citizen, an innocent American citizen, a woman at that, a white woman, as a domestic terrorist, some extremist, especially when there's video, especially when we can see what happened. But I think that we have reached a point where Trump and his base, they know that the Trump derangement syndrome is so strong with their followers that they can almost just know they can get away with doing something like this, with painting her out to be such a monster, knowing that this shit is fucked up. That's a real scary thing to think about, because we've gotten to a point now where they just don't care, where people really are just going to sit there. The GoFundMe for the officer that shot her, Jonathan Ross, was at least over $275K last time I checked. And it just makes me think that we're at a point where, again, we're already divided. We know that there are people that are entrenched on one side or the other, but when there are people on one side that are so deluded to where they are excusing citizens being murdered, I think that we've reached a point where we are almost at no return. And I am also of the belief that, of course, people need to get up, they need to vote in these midterms, elect some of these motherfuckers that are supporting him out, get some other people in here, resist. I don't believe that Trump dying or Trump moving on or him losing the presidency or anything else is going to be the end of that movement. They're going to move on. They're going to find a new figurehead. They're already having infighting now, trying to do just that. So it's going to take community. It's going to take people really coming together, really being educated, and it's not going to be overnight, because this is entrenched. The things that allowed him to gain power and for all of them to get to a point where we can have shit like this happen does not happen overnight. This starts back years, decades ago, and it just has festered, and shit just happened that just got motherfuckers so riled up to where where we're at now, where it's damn near a death cult. Somebody I watch a lot, FD Signifier, made a video where he'd really describe the situation as that, and it's damn near that, because it's not just about seeing people who are different than them or who they oppose being punished or just being abused. It's about just the control and the power and feeling like they are part of the end. And it's amazing what people will go to in those links. It's amazing the things that people will accept. It's amazing how people will come on and just really try to show no compassion for someone who could have just as easily been them, who look like them. But I also want to say that this is just what's happened to her. I've heard it said a lot, but I'll also say it again. It's weird seeing certain demographics have such a strong reaction when things like this have happened to people of color plenty of times before. But that's just the nature of the beast. That's just how it is because it is how it is. We don't necessarily relate to people, especially if we are higher on the totem pole, unless they look like us, unless we can literally see ourselves in their shoes. And shit, sometimes when you just can't visually see yourself as that person, that's how easy it is to really just be misillusioned and just ignore or excuse certain things. I don't see this officer being prosecuted. I don't see anything happening to him. He's already got support from very important people, or at least just based off the positions they hold. So people can protest, people can be upset, but we are just getting to a point now where you got to be careful. They're looking for excuses. They're looking for a chance. There's a lot of people who I just feel like I've always felt like people who flock towards law enforcement offices who really want to do that job. Yes, there is that small percent that really do want to be a hero, that really do want to save people and make lives better. There's also a big percentage that maybe they started as the other side, and then they end up like this, or they were already like this. They're there for power. They're there to just control. They were bullied in high school and want to like take that control over on motherfuckers. They just have a lot of just hate in them, or they were just racist to begin with, because you can't forget that the law enforcement, a lot of it all started off as slave catchers, and a lot of these different enforcement agencies, I'm not trying to paint all law enforcement agencies or things of that nature as like having that be exactly what they're about, because that's definitely not true, but a lot of it can be rooted back to just shit like that. A lot of the corruption and why I think that they need to be retrained, and why people think they need to be really investigated, or at least not held to a standard where they can only prosecute themselves, is because of things like that. When there are cracks, when there is like just bad shit in the foundation, it's hard to really say that even just retooling or really just doing anything soft is going to actually fix it. You have to really go in and fix the problem at its roots at that point. And I don't know if that's ever going to happen, just based off the way this country is constructed and the way that it operates. If there's one thing that just these past couple of years of my life and just seeing all of these world events happen one time after another has shown me, is that I think that the people in charge would rather blow us all up or end things in a hellstorm of fire than just allow things to get better and for the world to just work in a unilateral, just equal for everybody spot. So with that being said, not to end this on a doomer note, I think that all just means that we have to continue to understand that everything is compromised. The internet is compromised, Spotify is compromised, YouTube is compromised. I'm not compromised, me the individual, but all of these entities that we are even using right now on this is, well, you can almost not expect them to be working 100% in your favor. They're working in the favor of making you money, and they're usually the favor of people of making that are working in that favor. They're fucking you over somehow, because that's how you make money. So I say all that to say, take care of yourself, stay in community, understand that you really have never been able to trust the news and the media and the government all 100%, not even really like fucking 10%. But even more so now. So make sure you stay educated. Make sure you are trying to stay as up to date on news that is going on politically, and not just politically. Make sure you're staying up to date on what's going on in the tech world, especially with AI, because they're using that shit to confuse and propagandize us even more so than we already were. And it's working. It's very easy to just like trick motherfuckers with a headline and just tell them some shit, and all of a sudden it'll go viral. All you gotta do is just post a picture, post some bold font, and then there you go. So you gotta be careful. But that's all I really have for y'all today. I just wanted to talk about this. I know I'm late to this conversation when it comes to this shooting and everything that happened. It's obviously just depressing. It's sad that we are getting more and more to this point. I don't think we're necessarily close to a civil war. We're not on Civil War, World War III watch just yet for me, but the world is definitely getting more and more grimy. It's getting more and more have and have-nots, and it's just, capitalism is a scourge. But this has been Germ. This has been Kinetic Aesthetic. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mr. and Lady, had to do it for y'all at least one time. Make sure you all continue to be good people. Make sure you continue to drink a lot of water. Tell your friends and your family that you love them, not love them, not in the past tense, in the present. And then just continue to be good people. It's hard out here. The bomb ain't dropped yet, so we're still here. We're still going to keep thugging. We're still going to keep doing the best we can, because that's what we all do.